Mr. Deputy Speaker. In March, we adhered to lockdown measures to protect the lives of one another and prevent the NHS from being overwhelmed. Evidence indicates that the virus is on the increase across the nation. The analysis of what this means, however, is contested, and I remain to be convinced that the imposition of further measures in Wakefield at this time is the right thing to do. The measures before the House, which seek to arrest the spread of COVID-19, will cripple Wakefield's economic recovery and for many businesses sound their death knell. There is no silver bullet, and without one, although difficult, we must learn to live with the virus. The continued peaks and troughs are unsustainable and offer false hope. Last week I visited Ossip Brewery, which employs close to 400 people in my constituency. Having spent tens of thousands becoming a COVID-secure business, the incomprehensible 10 p.m. curfew, at best grounded in questionable science, has left their business in jeopardy. This afternoon, I received an email from the managing director who said the imposition of Tier 2 measures would merit the brewery's closure. I have similar stories to tell from restaurateurs and businesses from across my constituency. My inbox is swamped with people informing me to help the government to realise, imploring me to help the government realise that their businesses will be damned. I have not received one letter or email asking me to commend the government on its proposals. Throughout this pandemic, the people of Wakefield behaved responsibly, adhering to the government's guidelines. When marked as an area of concern, my constituents diligently followed social distancing advice and were rewarded. Wakefield now has a lower number of COVID cases than neighbouring Kirklees and Calderdale, indeed lower than the Chancellor's constituency, Richmond, which has been categorised as Tier 1. As a consequence of this new tier system, Wakefield will be unfairly characterised as Tier 2, along with the rest of West Yorkshire. As Wakefield is placed in stricter measures, I'll give way.
Would he agree with me and thank the local health officials, in particular the public directors of public health, like in Bradford West, that actually they have the real answers and that expertise is very local and it needs to be led locally as opposed to nationally with a one-size-fits-all in cases such as yourselves?
Well, the Honourable Lady raises a very interesting point, and certainly if she uses a model such as Germany, that would be the case. But of course Germany has a very, very strong federal system with the Länder, and the United Kingdom is far more centralised. So I don't think there's a fair comparison. What would be best if all of our citizens cooperated entirely with Test Track and Trace, downloaded the app and used it and behaved responsibly. In the end, with COVID, with this virus, the human variable is key to limiting and controlling the disease. And so it's getting individuals to understand their responsibility and their key use to sort this problem out themselves. So, as I was saying, Wakefield will be placed with this new tier system into stricter measures, whilst others in West Yorkshire with a far higher incidence, such as the Honourable Lady from Bradford, with a far higher incidence will enjoy eased measures. Wakefield's current infection rate merits the disaggregation of Wakefield Metropolitan District Council from West Yorkshire and placing it in Tier 1. The Secretary of State's already said that this is possible in High Peak and other parts of North Yorkshire. And so if he would do so and commit to doing so for Wakefield, I would then reconsider and vote with the government. Without such assurances, I fear these measures would, for Wakefield, be a death by 1,000 cuts. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I cannot look my constituents in the eye if I have voted for measures that break them.